And how do we deal with that apart from making, like I said, making it a licensable thing to have children? I don't know. But we do have some what in the Walmart rapture headlines to at least be a palate cleanser because sometimes the headlines are just, well, no fun. So I dig deep and find, well, the weird hiding under the headlines. So let's see what is going on in the wild, wacky world of, well, final form Jesus headlines.
A key-keeped scroll, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With six-pack glistening, sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Well, it's finally safe to boink back at the Olympics. Even if you didn't get the gold, you can at least go away without the clap. They're back. Olympic condom supply has been restocked for the horny athletes, the bedroom Olympics. After 10,000 were snapped up in just 3 days. I mean, that's a lot of optimism, but they do more cardio than me. So maybe there's something, there's a correlation. Love is back in the air at the Winter Olympics. At the Olympic Village in Milano Cortina, a supply of about 10,000 free condoms for competing athletes was quickly, well, gone through in just 3 days, but now they have been restocked. More condoms were provided to athletes at the beginning of this week. A spokesperson for the Olympics Organizing Committee and International Olympic Committee confirmed on, uh, Good Morning America, as you do. The rubber restocking comes out after Italian outlet had reported the shortage in the villas due to, in the words of the IOC, higher than anticipated demand. Shows that Valentine's Day is in full swing at the village. I don't think I can add much more to that, IOC spokesperson Mark Adams told reporters of the, condom shortage. Now it's unclear exactly how many more condoms will be brought to the village. What the I know. Don't give them condoms. Can you imagine the race of superhumans we would get if we let them all intermix? Like, we could have people that could do quintuple jumps. We could get the curlers with the hockey players, and then you could do the splits and push the people are not thinking about this correctly. I'm telling you, we should have we should have all the super athletes get together, make super athletic babies. You know, contrary to as a non-athletic person, here I thought you'd be at the Olympics, like, training and, I don't know, doing your routine in your spandex. Look, if I were gonna be in the Olympics, it'd be figure skating, though me on ice is just a terrible idea. But if I had athletic ability, I'm just well, what I really wanted to be was in ice castles with Robbie Benson. Again, at the time, 9 years old and 26-year-old Robbie Benson was not appropriate, but now, yes, ice castles with Robbie Benson. Anywho, look, don't make fun of my dream. Through the eyes of love, I swear to goodness. Anywho, look, I saw that movie and I thought, if a blind girl could ice skate, I could ice skate. I just didn't realize the very clear plot point that she could actually ice skate prior to her blindness. Just thought it was maybe like a God thing, like if God took away so I figured I didn't have the ability to spell, so that was my disability. Let's just say I didn't ice skate ever again. I definitely thought I was gonna be like Michelle Kwan, and I was not. My poor, wonderfully talented, athletic mother got stuck with me. I am so glad she had my little sister. This sounds daft. I know the film you watched, and I can't remember the title either. I think it was Ice Castles, but I could be wrong. Anywho, my poor mother had me, this, like, inside cat, non-athletic. She's like, "Be competitive," and I'm like, "Why? It's soccer. What are we gonna do if I win or lose?" And she's like, "Just get in the game," and I'm like, "I'm in the game. I'm actually here. I'm on the field in the game." So I love my mom because she loved me, but I am glad she got my sister who was actually athletic so she could have, like, her daughter to do that kinda stuff. Because Lord knows she got me and she probably thought like, "Ooh, girl, we can do, like, girl stuff." And then I was like, "Have you ever thought about if dragons were real, what kind of language they would have?" I made up my own dragon language. I remember bless my mother, like, youngest most feral had nothing on me as a child. I remember I spent 2 hours explaining how I created my own dragon language, and I'm still alive, so my mother is a saint. But there you go, the things that my mom had to deal with me. Well, beer pong injury. Hey, at least it isn't an insertion injury because, I'm sure the ER doctor is more excited for the beer pong injury story. Well, a 19-year-old's bizarre beer pong injury required surgery to fix. Well, talk about a sore loser. For one player, a game of beer pong went terribly awry. A 19-year-old man was brought to the hospital with acute throat pain, difficulty swallowing, and abnormal breathing following a round of the popular drinking. Did he swallow the ping pong? Don't swallow the ping pong. You're supposed to juggle them lightly in your hands. I'll see myself out. Now, the initial exam showed that the back of the patient's throat was inflamed, and a subsequent x ray revealed what appeared to be a bottle cap. A bottle cap? Who the hell plays beer pong with a bottle cap? Also, who the hell what 19-year-old has enough money to buy screw top beer? That you should be living off. First of all, you're 19. That should have been Natty Ice. You pay $7 and you can get 72 cans. I reject this. Where the hell is this kid playing beer pong that he has twist off caps? Must be that's dad's microbrew. He's gonna be in more trouble that he stole his dad's beer. Now, the cap had fallen into the patient's red Solo cup during a, well, drinking contest, and he had unknowingly swallowed it for about an hour. Even though he had a stable airway, doctors had to use surgical intervention to remove the bottle cap due to the potential for, possible perforation. Well, he should keep that because if we go the way of fallout, which seems fairly relevant here lately, that bottle cap might be worth some money. The unfortunate young man underwent surgery, emergency rigid or esophoscopy, in which a thin tube with a camera is inserted through the nose or mouth without complication. Now, if the patient was lucky because in most cases of accidental aspiration, the foreign objects lodge themselves in the trachea and they do jeopardize breathing. Now, ENT doctors routinely treat indigestion of foreign bodies, the effects of which can range from discomfort to death. So, yeah, be sure that you, I don't know, check your cups before you swallow freaking caps. Darn children. Don't be dumb. Well, in a damaging blow to Chick-fil-A's everywhere, but it won't stop me because they make a damn good chicken sandwich. We have been lied to yet again. Chicken might not be healthier than beef. Well, not with all the stuff, not with all the roids we pump it with. Red meat has long been blamed for raising blood sugar and diabetes, while chicken is widely seen as a healthier option, but a new study challenges that age old advice. Come on, bacon is healthy. Come on, bacon is healthy. Researchers at Indiana University School of Public Health, Bloomington. Okay, well, it does come out of the Bloomington campus, and I would like you to remind you all that I call Bloomington the San Francisco of Indiana. So, again, nothing good or bad about it, except that you are likely to see people on electric scooters, um, with my complexion with dreadlocks in the middle of rural Indiana, and they don't pay attention. Look, I have really no problem with Bloomington except for they have an infestation, a literal plague, hear me out, of these GD electric scooters. Now, sounds like a great idea. Get people out, not using cars, short journeys, electric scooters. Good idea. Great idea. Save the universe, save the environment, until those scooters are mainly piloted by high assholes with dreadlocks not paying attention who just like to go into the street. So maybe I'm a little salty with Bloomington, but maybe I have a point because I have reached the time in my life where I'm in the Red Foreman to Wanda stage of my life. So I would kindly like you to look the hell around as I'm in my freaking 10 passenger red giant Ford Transit as you, Shaggy from Scooby Doo decide to just drive your little electrical scooter into the middle of the street. Or kindly share whatever gummies you're on, so I will not be stressed out about possibly running your non-paying attention behind over. Yes, this has happened many times when I've gone to Bloomington. My husband asks me all the time, "Why don't you just go to Bloomington?" And I'm like, "No, I will go where I know things." I refuse. Thank you for indulging me in this detour of why I hate electric scooters when they are piloted by high people. Now, according to the University of Indiana at Bloomington, it does show that the common dietary recommendation for people with prediabetes that they tested, they found that blood sugar levels, insulin sensitivity, cholesterol, and inflammation markers didn't change in any meaningful way when participants ate lean beef versus chicken, according to the research. Now, that was published in Current Developments in Nutrition in December. Now, this was a very, very small study, though. They only followed 24 adults with prediabetes. About 70% of those patients were male, and they ate either unprocessed beef or chicken every day for 4 weeks, then switched. Now they incorporated the meals, including burgers, fajitas, burritos, stews, and stir fries into their regular diets. And after the month, the researchers then tested their blood levels, insulin response, and how well the pancreas, the organ that does control the insulin levels in your body, was working. So it doesn't seem, again, this is a very small study, so they would need to do a lot more before any doctor is going to tell you that it doesn't matter lean beef or chicken. But it is an interesting finding and does kind of show that a lot of age old wisdom that we're given in medical fields isn't really researched yet, or at least the science isn't always known. Now, that being said, am I telling you to eat a full tomahawk steak every night and wash it down with a can of Spam? No, I am not. Talk to your doctorologist. I am a hot mess priestess. I am your guru of the okayisness. I do not give you medical advice. I barely have my own medical advice online. So, interesting interesting, information, very small study.